First, we need to understand the difference between the matter and spirit. Who am I, this body or soul? We need to figure out this very deeply, seriously, not for the sake of fashion and trends, but to understand it truly, to feel the soul, to realize the soul, not just to make it up in our minds. If I am a soul, then why do I feel that I am this body? If I am an eternal soul, then why am I afraid of death? Why does fear not leave me? What's the matter? Well, the matter is that I am not a self-realized soul. I am just a theoretical soul. So how do I realize my soul? There are two methods. The first one is Sankhya philosophy. You need to get the knowledge first. Count all the material elements and you will see that there is one missing, and that is consciousness. Sankhya philosophy counts 24 material elements, and the combination of those elements builds a body. But if there is no soul, then the body will be dead. Don't you see? All the elements are in the place, but you cannot make it alive. All the elements are there, all the chemical and physical elements are there, then why can't you make it alive? Physicists, scientists, do something. You have laboratories. You cannot do it, because if there is no consciousness, then you cannot do anything. Bhishma Dev was lying on arrows for half a year, all pierced with the arrows. Where does such a living force come from? Austerities. This is the first method, understanding. This is a purely theoretical, logical method, needed to make our mind calm. It's all logical if you study carefully. And the second method is incredible. Try acting like a soul in this world. So you are convinced in theory, you got some knowledge, that's good, and now make some step in that direction. Make a spiritual act. But how? Well, without material motivation. This will be a spiritual action, not for the sake of yourself, but to please God. Don't do it for your kid, for your father, for your country, but do something for God. Offer Him a leaf, fruit, or flower with love, and you will understand what a soul is. And the auspiciousness from this action will be received by your lineage, your ancestors. Automatically it will happen if you do it, because if you water the root, then all the flowers and leaves will be blossoming. But if you don't water the root, then your tree will not survive. If you only care about your family and your children, your tree will not survive. So where is that root of the whole universe? Well, that's something divine, that's a super soul. That is the root of the whole universe, all energies, the source of everything. And there are different energies. We need to learn how to use them to live in those energies. Again, we need some knowledge how to do it. What's the better way of living? In ignorance or in knowledge? Of course, better to live in knowledge. We need to learn that. So please don't regret about your life, about your good fortunes and bad fortunes. Don't regret about what you've lost, and don't be proud of what you have achieved. Reach some equanimity. How? With the help of spiritual practice. That is science. Whatever can be empirically tested is science. We cannot understand soul in any other way. We cannot show you the soul in a lab, because that is impossible. The soul is not material. It doesn't burn in fire. It doesn't get dried out with wind. You cannot split it with a weapon. You cannot dissolve it in the water. Nope, the soul is not material, but the soul is the essence of everything. It is not manifested, which is why you cannot see it. But we can see a human being. Where do you see that? You can see clothes. Soul imitates the form of a body. You can guess that it is a human being. It imitates the form. Or where does this form of a body come from? How does a single-cell living being become a human being across evolution? How did it know about it? It means that there is some program from above. An amoeba becomes a highly organized matter. How does that happen? It doesn't know anything, it has no idea about it, but it happens. There are simple forms of life, there are complicated forms, there are highly organized forms, there are, in the end, psychologically organized, not only biologically organized forms. There are bodiless beings. When we die, we leave the body, but we still continue existing in between reincarnations. There are Bhutas, there are Pretas, there are Gandharvas, there are Kinnaras. These are all names of bodiless beings, which are numerous around. There are Yakshas, Rakshasas. There are different levels of consciousness which human beings can have. There are Kiratas, Yavanas. That is determined by food, by culture, but what they believe in. By the ability to understand, to conceive, to reply, by the level of feelings they have. There are many, many different stages of consciousness. As you can see, there are many nationalities in the world with different opinions, and all that is located in one single premises, in one single space. We breathe the same air, under one God, one sun. We need to understand, we need to develop our consciousness above all these material concepts. I am soul, and you are soul. Soul is life. In every form of living being, that is life itself, whereas bodies are like machines, biological yantras, machines. This is where we need to start our development, to distinguish between matter and spirit. It's a very useful practice, because in that process we get rid of false realizations and understandings. We start understanding the true positions of things, that I am a little soul. Its size is described in Shvetashvatara Upanishad. If you take a hair's section and split it into 100 pieces, and then that one piece you split in 100 sections again, then this will be the size of a soul. This tiny thing can fill up the universe with consciousness. It is beyond space and time, but not more than this one universe, and there are many universes out there. Whereas a super soul is limitless. In one word you can call it God. But if you see that super soul, the first thing you will think is, that's a miracle, it cannot be. If you hear about it, then you'll say the same thing. This cannot be, this is a miracle. You cannot explain super soul in any way, but you can either see it or not see it, either understand it or not understand it. This is an infinite happiness to realize oneself. Realize truly in eternity, in knowledge and in bliss, not in all these problems. These problems will always exist in this material world, always. Even if we arrange everything just how we like it. Anyway, the weather will change, the problems will stay and change each other. Happiness and unhappiness come and go like seasons. These are cycles of time. Night and day, winter, summer, cold and warm. They always replace each other. We need to be trained. If my body temperature is always 36.6 degrees Celsius, then why does it matter if it's cold or warm? I am protected, right? So when the level of consciousness is high, then this human being does not see difference between happiness and unhappiness. Why? Well, for example, it's winter now, and we are not afraid of winter. We get prepared for winter, we have some warm clothes, something to heat our buildings. Everything is alright, we are protected. We are not in the state of euphoria that everything is gonna be alright and that summer is gonna last forever. Knowledge protects us, so we don't really care about it. If it's too hot, then we have some air conditioning, we can take some shower. We are ready for that. Same in life, happiness or unhappiness, we are ready because we realize the high meaning. We are ready to accept anything with grace. So please accept everything that you have for now. Whatever good you have in your life, please accept it. Don't spoil that which you have already, okay? And do some self-development.